In a difference, you're calculating headphones. In a difference, you're calculating thoughts quickly. In a difference, you're calculating your own parts of your body together. In your difference, you're going to create things. In a difference, you're going to throw yourself into a body skull and destroy your own capacity. In a difference, you're going to find everything glowing within your parameters. In a difference, you're going to find everything jump to the new horizon. In a difference. But let's stop at that difference, because the difference is not an acceptable thought for you. Not for everyone, because within the yellow lights or the white lights, sometimes people like white lamps, yellow lamps. They like that warm coloring or that white coloring. Now, what's the difference? Of course, your own thoughts are bringing you back to what a difference is. Because what is a difference? It's yourself. Well, it's also you're kind of creaming your face with apple pie. Or, like clowns do. Wiping their, just having everything, the filter of everything jump to their faces. Because that's what happens with these sort of things. They become old parameters of things you wish they were. What a difference, because that's what it is. It's not what a difference, in a difference. In a difference, but see, the rest of that sentence is never added to. It's like I said before, there's a limit to that, because in a difference doesn't have a continuation of 3 dots. It barely has 1 dot. 1 ellipses at all, 1 little dot of an ellipsis at all, because there's no continuation, there's no etc. Because if there was, why would I need to talk? Yeah, see? And then there's no answer from you, except going down the canoodle street with your chicken, because that's going to protect you. Your chicken legs. Or anything else, like flipping on and off a switch of a light. Yeah, that'll fix everything up, because that's exactly what it does. It creates your sort of comfort zone, but not the comfort zone you'd want, because you still want excitement. But you won't get excitement without breaking through all the blusters, breaking through all the fences, breaking through all the gauges of life. But see, that's the thing. There's a creation within that. As with the last time, you can only create things within your own diameter if you want to. But of course, you create the line that you don't want people to cross with you. But it also means what people will throw at you every single time. You have to give people the benefit of the doubt. I believe that's only certain within occasional processes of personal relationships with people. And even at that, there's a question to it. Which means that anybody who has more power than you don't really have to give the benefit of the doubt, not so much. That's where you question the authority all the time. But of course, it's like running through a grass field, grassy field, Some of it's going to be higher than the other parts, You could yawn to that, because I know that's what most people would do, because what's the difference? It doesn't change anything. Yeah, of course it doesn't change anything. But see, that's the whole point. Then why does it change something when you do stand up and question things? Whoopsie, why does it make a difference then? Whoopsie, there's no answer to that, because you don't like it. That's the big difference. So of course, see, your own personal infatuation is a lot bigger than anybody else's. Your ego's so huge, you don't even want anybody else having their own personal thoughts. That's how big your ego is. Look at that. What the fuck else is there? You don't even have your own self-determination. You can't even stand up on your own 2 feet with your own thoughts without breaking somebody else's down. Why can't you do that? I'm asking you. Oh, you're not answering me. Of course you're not. You're standing there with your faulty mouth open like you're jumping down Uncle Sam's dick or something. You can't even answer that, can you? Because you don't want to. Because you don't want to face the consequences of leaving something alone that somebody else is questioning. You won't let that person question it. See? So then how can your own thoughts or anything you enable in your life even create something if you don't want to create it on your own, within your own access of mind and your own access of things? Because you don't want it that way. You want everybody else to join you. You want everybody else to have the same consequence and everything else. I mean, just think about it. What are the most abbreviated quotes in the world? Well, they're ones that show, this is a characteristic of me, this is a characteristic of me, this is a characteristic of me. And these are the quotes that we quote every day. Not the ones I quote, obviously. I make up my own. Or I look at ones and I say, well, this one actually sounds relevant. And it makes fucking sense right here. Because it's not something that's abbreviating what this person is in virtual reality. Because as John Lennon said, he said it best, when people saw me naked, what else can they do? It's like, that's true, you know? Pretty much, you stop worrying about the sort of things that are sort of the self-aggrandizing thoughts of yourself, because the ego goes away at that point. It becomes a specter of your thought, and it's like flashing a light in somebody's eye, but it doesn't burn their, iris or anything. It creates that sort of thing, because then at that point, what the fuck else can we do? So I'm trying to make you understand that, yeah, you can have your own thought, and that's good. But don't take somebody else's away because of it. And don't say, oh, you gotta have benefit of the doubt with people. No, you don't. You have to have benefit of the doubt if you do. Now, if you do, good. If you do as an individual with certain things, certain circumstances, friendship going bad, something like that, benefit of the doubt makes sense. But if benefit of the doubt has to do with everything else, people in power charge things like this, the charging of wars and marching pentagrams and marching ideas, then there's something wrong with that. In a difference, you're not making any sense, because you're not creating something that can go on. You're creating something that can be in a box. And that's it. You don't burn down the box, you burn down the beneficiaries. The people that get the luck and charms afterward. For example, somebody owns a company, a restaurateur, for example, gives it to their daughter or son. Well, guess what happens to that daughter or son? They don't have any idea how to run a business. So they get put into the job, and they have no real responsibility, no sense of ethics, nothing like that, no understanding of the system. And so obviously they break down and don't know how to do anything at that point. So that's what happens. You just sort of break down, and that's why you should give somebody else a charge. Because you can't give everybody the benefit of the doubt. Because if you do, at that point, anybody can take advantage. And even if they do a horrible job, they're in charge. So at that point, benefit of the doubt doesn't have anything. That's a cloudy judgment call. And that's something that's very stupid. And a lot of people say, well, somebody in that kind of power wouldn't they make that sort of decision? Wouldn't they make that stupid of a decision? Yes, they would. They want it for themselves. That's where the ego comes in, and that's where you're not listening. Because you're listening to in a difference, and trying to see those ellipses at the end, the 3 ellipses. You're trying to see that etc. that's going to be continued there. But it won't be continued. It'll be kept inside that box of creepy underlings, and nothing will come out. Because that's the thing about something like that. You don't create something within that aspect. You just deceive everything and just sort of say, well, that's how it works. That's how it works, because it works a certain way. So obviously, you're coming back within your fort hole and saying that I have to create something through this. Well, of course you do. But don't expect everybody else to jump on that board of, I have to create some of this in the same way you did. Benefit of the doubt doesn't necessarily mean you're the benefit. Just because you think that way. Fuck that. The beneficiaries, they can have their fun, but I'm going to break them down like any six-pack. And that's the idea. You're trying to say you have to give benefit of the doubt, but see, the beneficiary is the problem right there. So I'm not going to jump my, money or euros or anything else for your grave. Your spot can be plotted within the parameters of Venus, all I care. Because you don't want to answer questions anymore. And then you're annoyed when somebody else does too. Well, fuck you. Find your beneficiary on your own then. Find your own box, because you're going to huddle within the confines of everybody? Yeah, right. If you can't see the benefit of the doubt that you're mishandling, then why should I see yours? And then you're going to say me, I'm mishandling it. Oh, of course I'm mishandling it, because you are too. So I'm not going to handle it correctly if you don't. Why the fuck would I even try to give you that much of a benefit of the doubt? That's a double benefit of the doubt. Sorry, I only give one beneficiary, not 20. So you're going to have to answer to yourself. And that's it. And then you just move along, because if you really don't care, if you really say that somebody's making the wrong decision, why would you get involved in it? Or why would you even bring your own 2 cents into it, or any beneficiary thought into it? You would burn your bridge. You would even burn your bridge before you even access the bridge. You wouldn't even pay the toll, because you wouldn't want to spend a dime on it. But you do. So don't give me that crap about how, well, it doesn't make sense, it's stupid, oh, that's just nut talk right there. When you're going to spend a dime to get over that bridge, and to say your 2 cents, because you don't really not care or not want to say anything if that's how you're going to treat it. So walk along in benefit of the doubt, but you're doubling it up, but not for me. I have to double it up for you. Well then find your own friend there. You're going to find somebody down the street with like a homeless person. Maybe they'll give you the benefit of the doubt twice over. I won't. But you can find your own way. Hey, because I'm going to find my own strings attached within myself, not within your confines, because your confine of mind is very simple. You're jumping down the barrel of too many guns. I'm going to jump down the barrel of my own self and find my own answers. So take care of your life. Jump into cattle crowds if you need to, but I won't find you. I won't find you at all. I'll jump behind myself before I even do that.